You all must have heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks, and you know what? LDG, you're in my spot, so I'm switching us over. God damn it. Did you switch us back?
It's trying to switch, damn it. What the heck? Stop.
You're trying to switch us.
I damn it.
All right, howdy, folks. This is Wild Mike here, and with me so far is LDG, who's been going crazy on my stream already, Elihu, and Dandelion, who's already fed up with LDG's crap.
I wouldn't say that.
You guys made me listen to that Indian song all night long, so I had to get you back somehow.
I won't ask. I don't want to know.
Apparently, before I even got to the stream, LDG had the Strange New Worlds Gangnam Style Klingon clip I play on
Gundam
loop.
style.
It was on loop. It was so bad.
Like I told Dandelion, be glad it wasn't Baby Shark.
Don't do that. Brain is
Sorry.
delicate at this hour of the day. I'm just gonna leave. I'm not even gonna
Elihu, I have no problems booting you, and also I know where you live.
Oh shit.
That's true. Mike is like within a day's drive of you.
Yeah, well, I know exactly where LDG lives.
You're lucky that I'm within a day's drive of you, but I don't have a passport right now, so
If you're
I can't
driving
come and
across
kick you in the
the border, you
shin.
don't need one.
Hey, guess what? Wild Mike just went live.
And also, as Mrs. Vile just added, also if you look white.
Right.
I don't look white. I'm not albino.
I'm talking about Dandelion.
Yeah, I'm pretty white, but my hair is like really bad right now because it's morning and I'm still in my pajamas. So,
well, I will startle all of you. Considering, you say it's bad.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to turn my camera on and show you. Also, I'm in my pajamas, so forget that. It ain't happening. No cameras.
Last night was Mrs. Vile's niece's 7th birthday party? 7th birthday party. And because it's close to Halloween, she, of course, wants it to be Halloween themed.
Excellent. As one does.
So I thought everyone was going to be in costume, but apparently only like 4 adults were in costume, including me and Mrs. Vile.
Oh.
What were you dressed as? A parent?
Hi, Bob.
I will show you in a second.
Hi, Bob.
No, I'm just gonna...
There could be, by the way, NB Geek, there could be only one, and that is me. I've already had 5 cups.
Now, just so you know, this was Mrs. Vile's idea for my costume.
Nice.
I'm Santa on vacation.
Ah, I thought it was going to be like Surf Santa or something. Vacation
You
Santa.
need a Hawaiian shirt, dude.
Yes.
Dude, I've already got my costume. All I need is a 10-cent check and a Black Russian.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as you can abide that.
I already have my costume. I'm going as a YouTuber.
So, all right. So, go ahead. Good.
I was gonna say, I want to talk a little bit about that John Williams documentary. That thing was great.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
nope. I didn't even know about it.
It's a great documentary, guys. I would definitely recommend taking a look at it.
What's it called?
It's
John Williams documentary.
Yeah, it's
getting like a 80-90% positive reviews.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, dude. It's on my queue.
So yeah, I mean, I love documentaries.
Is it
so-
on a streaming service?
Yeah, it's on D plus.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I do have that. Well, I'm borrowing somebody's.
Yeah, whatever.
They shall remain nameless because I don't want to, get them in trouble. So,
Understandable.
well, they know that I mean, they gave me the password. It's,
And
intentional.
I'm pretty much, if I want to watch it, I'm pretty much going Army Mateys on it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it just dropped. Actually, my wife's the one who told me she, I guess, was looking at Disney D plus for something, and she said she was like, "Hey, Jess, this documentary on John Williams dropped," and I was like, "What? Like the John Williams?"
Yeah,
So-
Hamill posted about it. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that.
I was like, "Oh shit." So after I got done with a few things over the weekend, I watched it. I had to split it up because I started watching it late, and then I watched the rest of it in the morning. But yeah, fantastic story. John Williams has got to be one of the most humbled, hardworking people I could ever imagine in the music industry. But that man has a love of music, and I would say basically the way somebody said it in there, he has a way of knowing how to understand the language of instruments. Whatever instrument it is, he seems to be able to he's able to write stuff for it.
Sorry, Jordan don't know how to cook breakfast.
I will definitely try to check it out, but no guarantees this week.
No, it's a great documentary. I mean, like I said, starts out, of course, childhood piano player stuff, and well, that's the thing. You guys know that the Jaws theme is only a few notes on a piano, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yes and no. The opening for the Jaws theme is primarily just a few notes on a piano.
Yes, and that was when
Isn't all music on a piano a few notes on a piano?
Isn't all words made up?
okay, I think it was what? Okay, fine. It was like what? Four notes, 5 notes,
Or chords?
It's yeah.
Because I was going to say, a lot of music is like 4 or 5 chords.
Yeah, it's like that word isn't made up. You just put a lot of words together. Aren't all words put together?
Yeah, Dandelion or NB. Have you ever heard of a group called the Axis of Awesome? They literally do an entire song where they do 4 chord songs, just singing a few bars from each, just to show how similar they are. I would check it out. They've done a couple versions, including updating it. But yeah, you're talking about just a couple of chords. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dandelion.
Well,
I know. I play guitar and mandolin. I'm well aware of how few chords and notes there are in most music. And I'm also really thankful for that.
Oh God, Dandelion!
Williams
Back when I was in the Civic Youth Band, the San Diego Civic Youth Band, I was the second chair baritone bass clef. Okay,
I have no music talent whatsoever.
Now, half the songs that we played, I was playing one note over and over and over again for the entire song, except for like 6 or 7 times where I would be like going up the ladder, down the ladder.
Yep.
And that was it. And it was just like the most boring thing to. It's like, oh yeah, I'm so awesome. I'm 12 years old in the Civic Youth Band for the city of San Diego, and all I'm doing is playing one note.
Hey, you made it, man.
I guess if everybody gets their shit together, everybody paying one different note works out pretty good.
Oh fuck! You actually just made me Asner a little bit.
What about Ed Asner?
No, Asner. Acute spontaneous nasal reflux.
Sorry, I thought it said Asner. I'm like, what about Ed Asner?
It is an Asner, but it's not Ed Asner.
Oh.
Now, I don't know how anybody feels about Kathleen Kennedy. Yes, she's in it, but she's not in it that much.
Well, I don't have an issue with Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not a hater for She
I gotta
has
say,
done really good things.
finally got around to watching that Agatha All Along on Disney Plus. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, there was some stuff that was like, whatever, but I don't know. Overall, it was quite good.
Did you watch every episode?
I stopped around episode 3.
All right, so
Yeah, I did watch every episode. That's what I said. I just finished watching.
Oh, okay.
I got a story. So
The first episode I didn't
yeah,
like.
I chose to start watching that decrepit, horrible effing show yesterday.
The
I
first
got like 6 episodes in,
There's only
and
8.
it just went nowhere. And I'm like, screw this. I'm out. I'm done. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm not going back to the hospital. I'm not watching the rest of this freaking show. And then I went to bed, and what do you effing know? I had a nightmare of Agatha chasing me in my dreams, like literally coming after me,
Well, that's why you don't
haunting me and crazy shit.
binge watch the show.
I will let you know, LDG. I don't think I'd have a problem with the actress playing Agatha chasing me in my dreams.
Catherine Hahn? Nah, I wouldn't mind. Not one bit, Kathy.
I would.
A horrible show that went nowhere after episode. Nothing was getting done. No exciting crap whatsoever. I mean, it was just painfully waste of time. Every episode was a waste of time.
All right. Well,
That's your opinion.
I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like,
A waste of my time.
or anything, but I was entertained. Hey, Eric.
LDG is upset because Death is not Death as she was in the comics. That's all. That's why he's upset.
That's fine.
Actually, I could understand that. There's if it's because Death isn't being portrayed properly, I could understand that.
You have to change Death MCU from the comics to the MCU.
What about Death? I don't care. It's like at least in Dora the Explorer, they get to the mountain at the end of the episode. So it's like, like these episodes, it's like they accomplish one small little task.
She did,
and that's the whole episode.
That was the point of the episodes. One task per episode, one trial. Hello, it was the escape room.
I think I know LDG's problem. He just does not like serialized television.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Television, but this is like breadcrumb television. Okay, I don't want breadcrumbs. I want full serialized stories.
You just want to watch movies. That's it. No TV shows.
Did anyone see Wild Robot?
No, not yet. No. I heard. No, I got it on my queue.
It was pretty.
What'd you say?
In the private chat, real quick, so we know it's you.
So, Dandelion, what did you say? Did anybody see what?
The Wild Robot. It was actually in the movie theater. I went and saw it.
Oh, no, I can't go to. No, I'm lucky if I ever get far out of the house. Hey, Darren.
I'm sure it'll show up on something soon.
Well, I didn't see. I haven't seen Agatha, and I have no interest. I saw the trailer, and I'm like, it's not a show for me.
Yeah, it wasn't something I was particularly anxious to watch. But then I saw the first episode when it came out, and I was like, it's whatever. I didn't really care for it, and I was just looking for something to watch this week, and I thought, well, it's Halloween. Maybe I'll just watch that. So I watched an episode or 2 each evening, and I didn't mind it. I thought I quite enjoyed it. I was mildly entertained. I liked the characters. I'm sure people were upset because they're, it's mostly middle-aged ladies. I'm obviously the audience it was geared towards. So
that's the thing about Agatha. There is no TV shows right now where everybody's over 30. Everybody's a young crowd on TV shows. This is a rarity, like it was back in the 80s and 90s. You had old people in shows.
Golden Girls.
Yeah, Golden Girls, Sanford and Son, All in the Family. Hello, these had older characters that people enjoyed, not the young people under 30. Come on, this is why people are like, we don't want to see old people on TV. I'm like, fuck you.
Why are you so mad about the casting and oh my god. Sorry.
You know, every
hold on.
time I come
Mrs.
in here, I
Miles,
have to do some kind of identity
It's
check.
awesome.
I don't know why I don't see you doing that for everybody else.
Everybody
Because we
gets
came on before the stream started. That's why.
Yeah, they were.
Oh,
Everyone except
okay.
NB was on before, and NB turned his camera
Gotcha.
on.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody, if I come in afterwards, I have to do an ID check too.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Usually
you know,
say
a lot of
something- I usually
old
say
shows-
something only I would say in the chat, and it's acceptable.
You know, a lot of old shows had people who looked older than their 30s, but they were all in their 30s. You look at Cheers, for example. The guy, what's his name, Fraser Crane. That actor was like 26 years old when he started playing Fraser Crane, but he happened because of his receding hairline. Yeah, and because of his receding hairline and everything, he was able to convincingly play him an older man. That's why Kelsey Grammer seems to have been around forever, because he was that young when he started.
Jeez.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the things was, if you look at Night Court, the original Night Court, how they had like one of the tallest casts. You think Bull's tall? Everybody was tall.
Mm-hmm.
All the men were tall. They were like, everyone was like over 6 feet. John Larroquette's over 6 foot.
Harry was 6'1".
Yeah, Harry was 6'1".
Well, that makes sense. If you're going to have, it makes sense to have the cast of a similar height.
Well, Bull, I wonder if they had to bring in Richard Mall to kind of disproportionate it, because he made everybody else look small.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mrs. Vile brought me coffee, my bottle of whiskey, and leftover birthday cake just now. So I had to be quiet.
Oh man, you got birthday cake
whiskey.
for breakfast. I'm so jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you have whiskey.
I don't. Well, I have lots of whiskey. If I want whiskey, I can have that. I don't have any birthday cake, and I don't drink coffee. But my tea should be steeped by now.
I only have wine. That's all I have.
One of the I'm gonna probably grab a bottle or two on my way home. One of the places has that Johnny Walker on sale again for $15. So I might buy a couple of bottles on my way back to the States.
I'm gonna pour myself a cup of tea. Should have had green tea. It has more caffeine in it.
I think I am gonna check out that Skeleton Crew show, that Star Wars one. I'm gonna give that a shot.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It's a kids show, live action kids show, Star Wars version. That's what it basically is.
I know that.
It's aimed at. It's for once, Star Wars is aimed at little kids. It's gonna be very little violence for the bad guys against good guys, but the good guys will hit the bad guys a lot more. It's toned down a lot.
I'm kind of taking it as
I'm
kind of
trying to share that, Darren, but I can't share it for some reason.
Did I send you that thing, Eli, who on Instagram with the dog wielding this light thing?
Yeah, that was funny. Insurance, oh shit, yeah, good, okay, good.
Eli who? I'm damn well know this is a kid show. Yeah, exactly. That's why when I see some people complaining about it, this is not Star Wars, I'm like, it's a kid's show. Star Wars is always for youth, but it's just it's a younger kid show. It's got young kids in it, and it's kind of got a Goonies, kind of a Lost in Space vibe to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to watch the first couple episodes, give it a shot, see how it is.
Well,
it's kind of like Star Trek It's kind of like Star Trek Prodigy. When it first came out, I was like, this isn't Star Trek. This is little kid shit. I'm like, yeah, that was the point of Prodigy. Hello.
Is it like Star Wars? Is it like Paw Patrol, the Star Wars version?
Battle of the Ewoks, but stylized.
Eli, why are you so much louder than everybody else here?
I have no idea. Maybe it's yours.
Turn your volume down, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just you.
Maybe you're.
No, you are loud. No, dude, you are loud.
Maybe move back a little from your mic, or
I'm on your headphones.
Modulate
there's
your tone.
a button on your mic with a circle with a little line through it. Tap that once.
And so is that for that little circle with the X on the button. Could you tap that, please?
You could just
ladies.
calmer.
Stop arguing. There we go. I can finally add
There we go. Okay, so these are the ages of the actors on Cheers in their first season. Now, I can believe that Shelley Long is 33, but some of these others just look so much older than
They are
30 people in the 30s, today. And I think this is why, back then they used to look for actors who were young but could look older. So, yeah.
I think that's because they expected it to go into syndication and they wanted them to look the same over the course of the show.
Yeah, syndication was a thing, but I mean, nobody knows they're going into syndication when they start. So, I mean,
no, but they hope for it.
Yeah, they hope for it. You're right. Yeah, but it's just like people looked older. It's like somebody used I don't know, a couple of programs to show us what if Archie Bunker, the All in the Family, what if it was made today, what Carol O'Connor and Edith would look like today, and they look much younger because of how people wear their hair, how people take care of themselves a little bit differently. Obviously, probably every single one of these people was a smoker, and that'll make you look a little bit older. So I mean,
it was the 80s.
But it's
of course they were smokers.
Yeah, but I mean, this shows us. I mean, a 35-year-old today does not look like any of these 35 or 34-year-olds, especially on television.
I'd say he looks older than me at 35, and I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that a Star Trek character in Deep Space Nine was based on him.
Yeah, but I thought I'd show that.
Yeah, I just love the fact that the character of Morn was based on the character from Cheers.
Well, yeah, even his name is an anagram.
Yeah,
and of course the running gag that he never speaks, but he has the reputation of somebody who talks your ear off.
Yeah, I always did like that joke.
That and Captain Botane with the transparent skull. We never got to see him, but we always knew of him through conversation.
Yeah.
And apparently, he's not a bad on a first date, according to Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that over on Enterprise, they tried to have a character like that where we never saw Chef even in the finale, but he was always talked about, but we never shown. And I loved that here's this character sequestered in some part of this very small ship that we never get to see. And I think that they kind of ruined it when they had Riker.
Playing
portray
the
chef. Yeah, it's like, oh gee, now every time somebody looks up Chef, they're gonna think that Riker played Chef.
But I thought it was interesting. But yeah, that was always interesting how he's like, it's like leave it to the captain to get the best chef in Starfleet.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah. But I mean, Hernandez got he got a pretty good chef too. I mean, or a cook. Tripp mentioned that when he went to the Columbia, he said your cook here could give our chef on Enterprise a run for his money. And so, I mean, and then of course, submarines have a reputation of having, very, very good food compared to the rest of the Navy. So, they kind of pulled that tradition over, I think.
Well, I mean, Star Trek is based on submarine warfare. I mean,
really? I never realized that.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm Captain Obvious here.
Yeah.
I know. I'm Captain Obvious here. Hey, Darren, I wanted to ask you a question since you're a bubblehead. What is the average service for a ship or a sub from commission to decommission?
Usually it's 20 to 30 years. The Sturgeon class, of which I was serving on, had a 30-year lifespan. Los Angeles has 20, but they've been having to extend the Los Angeles class beyond the 20 years because of problems with submarine construction right now. So we actually had, because the Los Angeles class was only designed to be fueled during construction, so it had no mechanism on board for refueling. And the idea was that means 20 years and then they're done. But now they've actually had to cut those submarines in half, refuel them, and then weld them back together again to extend them because there aren't enough boats.
Submarines aren't freaky enough.
Is that extending them another 20 years or?
Probably, yeah. Okay. I mean, you might end up with some Los Angeles class subs that are, in their 30s or 40s that when originally they were only designed for 20.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is that issue, but yeah. Sometimes that happens. I mean, we went into World War II with antiquated World War I boats at first. So, I mean, that'll
That
happen.
is true.
So the reason I named the stream this, though, and I'm going to go off on a complete and utter tangent that has nothing to do with what we were talking about recently.
Excellent.
Yay.
I went to a Target this week, mostly to buy some sandwich fixins for the kids.
High class crazy. Gotcha.
Wow. No Walmart.
Fancy
Now,
crazy.
the reason it was in the same parking lot as one of my Walmarts, which is why I specifically went to the Target, because I didn't want to go shopping in one of the stores I work in.
Okay. Continue.
And I'm like, as soon as I walk in, I have to use the restroom. So I start heading to the restroom, and it turns out there's a fight going on between a group of 13-year-olds and a group of 18-year-olds over something racial. I'm assuming it's racial because how often the group of 18-year-olds kept using the word or the N-word.
Super duper.
And basically, I was, not in a mood because of my kids getting me upset. Plus, I needed to pee, so me and two of the security guys ended up breaking it up, and a 5-minute trip into Target ended up taking half an hour because they had to call the cops, and I had to give a statement to the police and the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
Did you at least get to go to the bathroom?
Yes, I did go to the bathroom, ironically, in between the Target personnel calling the police and the police actually arriving.
Excellent. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
And the funniest part was my kids were like, what's going on? Because, I'm taking so long, and because all of a sudden 4 cop cars show up in the front of the store. So that was one of the why me moments. It's like, I just wanted to pee and buy sandwich stuff. Why did this happen?
Yeah.
The very next day, I'm working at one of my stores. I decide to take a break. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to buy some, chips or something and an energy drink, and then I'll get back to work. As I'm downstairs, I'm checking out the stuff on the clearance rack because, that's where I tend to buy the food stuff for snacks when I'm there because I'm cheap. I turn around and there's a guy on the escalator who just collapses, hits his head, and he's not tumbling down the escalator. He's just riding the escalator stairs down while his, I'm assuming, wife, girlfriend or something was, trying to help him up or whatnot. Me and another Walmart guy pull him off the escalator. He's bleeding from his head. There's a giant knot on his head too. I mean, I'm watching this thing. It starts out small and it's getting bigger by the minute.
Shit.
And the guy is some sort of Eastern European. He doesn't speak much English. He keeps saying, don't, he just wants help standing up so he can leave. But Walmart personnel have to call the ambulance because if there's blood, they have to call. It's just store policy. So again, I didn't make a statement to the ambulance, but I had to make a statement to Walmart because, I was a witness to this guy collapsing and everything like that. Fortunately, wrote me up as a customer, not as a vendor, because that would have got my company in trouble because technically I'm not supposed to help people when they're in distress when I'm working.
Right.
Really?
Liability issue.
Yeah.
So
that.
But I'm just like,
dumb.
what are the odds 2 days, two things like that would happen? It was just, like I said, why me?
Oh, Mike.
Did a third thing happen? Usually weird shit happens in threes.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. My wife and I will say that all the time, Dandelion. It's like, okay, this happened. All right, what's the third thing that's going to happen?
Oh, if you're talking about the third bad thing that happened, it was my 2 daughters suddenly telling me they don't like barbecue anymore.
So I'll give you a why me, and it actually happened this week. So that actually happened Friday, Saturday. Okay, so you guys know I have a lot of health issues. One of my issues is I have a lot of nausea issues, but Friday, and I've been trying to work on it, but Friday, oh my Lord, my wife and son were going to see my oldest daughter, who's still pissed at me, but I can live with that. She can get over it at some point. But that whole day, I could barely leave my room because every sudden movement, I felt so nauseated. Oh, shut up, Darren. I felt so nauseated, and I had to deal with it all freaking day. And it was like nothing I could do could stop the nausea. I was feeling crappy as hell. And then top it all off, I try to go to bed. I don't go to bed. I'm up all night. And then finally my alarm goes off and I'm just like, I am not taking a nap today. Boom, I go, get up, fight through it, take care of the dogs, the cats, the guinea pig, all that bullshit. And then the evening comes, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And I go let the dogs out for the night. And the next thing I know, and I shit you not, I close the door to the back door. And the next thing I know, I'm opening my eyes and my head and back are positioned up against the wall and I'm on the floor. And I have no idea what the hell happened. All I know is I closed that door, and the next thing I did is I opened my eyes, and I was on that goddamn floor.
Yeah, nothing's worse than passing out.
Yeah, but, the whole thing was I wasn't drunk.
Well, no, but you can still, you can pass out from other stuff.
Yeah, but normally I have some kind of warning, but I've had 2 issues now where that has happened out of nowhere. Which normally, if I fall, I have the ability to brace myself. But the blackout, I didn't even know I was on the damn ground.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm looking up and I'm just like in fucking shock. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Had you just smoked some weed?
No, I haven't. No, I don't have any.
Oh,
I haven't had any for a
while. Because that can really fuck your blood pressure. So.
No, but yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. It was just, and then
does fennel tea help with the nausea? Have you tried fennel tea, like fennel seed, making tea with fennel seed?
No, DM me that dandelion sometime.
Just try a bag of fennel seeds at the store. I don't know. I don't know if you have any Asian food markets, like where they sell curries.
Yeah, Asian. I guarantee. I guarantee I go and
buy yourself a bag of fennel seeds. Like, it's not fancy, or you can buy pre-bagged fennel tea, but it's much cheaper just to go buy yourself like a giant $3 bag of fennel seeds, and then you just put a teaspoon of that, pour some boiling water over it. When all the seeds sink to the bottom, you just drink the tea. It really helps with nausea. I do that if I have an upset stomach or.
Yeah, but mine's mostly. Yeah, I'll give that a try. Mine's mostly due to my complications with my medications, and
it might still help. It does help.
Yeah, that's what I said, Dandelion. I'll give it a try. Trust me, I'll look at about anything. But yeah, I was like, why me? I'm like, why did I black? It's like the 2 times I've had a blackout, nobody's been in this house. Because, like I said, my wife's, she's heading back now. She's probably in Effingham right now. Oh, man. Anyway, that's my why me for the weekend.
Well, I hope you didn't hit your head too hard or anything.
I hit my head up. No,
I wound up with a bump on the back of my head because you just, you're there, then suddenly you're like waking up, like, where the fuck am I? Why is my head like that?
No, I had one point where I fell down. Well, in this case, I was drunk. This is some years ago. I cracked my head pretty bad, and I got to know if my head's shaved, you can kind of see where the gash is in the back.
So he was like, "How did I get here? This isn't my house. This isn't my car. This isn't my beautiful wife." As the days go by, water flowing underground.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've woken. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, and there were days I've woken up being like, "How'd I get in my bed?"
I'm clapping for a lie who.
Darren, do you have D plus?
Disney
No, I'm
Plus.
more of
I
a-
think you're talking about.
I'm more of an A minus, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't have. No, I don't have Disney Plus. Disney Plus. No, I
Okay,
have
never mind.
Paramount Plus. That's it.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna say if you did
Mhm.
check out the John Williams documentary.
Mm.
Because
Well, I don't have Disney Plus, but I'll be checking it out. Army mateys.
yeah, it's fantastic. Just wanna
And yes, you guys can offer me your Disney, but I choose not to right now because I just don't want to deal with it. Another app to download, another thing to put on the. Yeah, it's just an issue. So
Yeah. Yeah.
sorry, my daughter's already using my stuff.
well, what's funny is my older, Caddy's mom offered me her Disney Plus account now that her Caddy and her boyfriend broke up, and I was like, no, that's just weird. No, I don't get along with you. Why are you offering it to me?
No.
I mean, it was kind of like handing out an olive branch, but it was just like, I know that olive branch is concealing a bunch of thorns.
Yeah.
So, since we haven't mentioned it yet, what'd you guys do for Halloween?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm an evangelical Christian. I don't observe Halloween.
Dang. I didn't do much, but I at least watched a bunch of horror movies. Bad ones.
Nah.
I mean,
Wasn't in the mood.
if you have just they're all over the place. I would definitely check out one called Peelers. That one was good. I liked it. Oh my God, we're in a horror movie was meta as fuck, and I loved it. It's definitely a shoestring budget, but if you guys have a chance, watch it.
I got a shoestring budget movie recommendation for you. It's
all right,
called
go ahead.
Hey Monster, Hands Off My City.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, if you see a guy in a white shirt in the top left of the back of the crowd, that's me. In the crowd scene, that's me.
Oh, you were.
I see.
And my friend Reggie's my friend Reggie Steele's in it. So,
shoot me a link on that one, or at least the title, because I'll forget it.
okay.
But shoot it on Twitter because that way I'll have it. If you shoot it on the StreamYards, I won't remember to check.
Gotcha.
I don't think anyone really goes back and rewatches my live streams because almost all my views are during the time it's streaming.
Pretty much. I would mention.
But what else I watched? Party Bus sucked, and as a horror movie, made no sense. Watched because it followed Party, or because it followed the other two. That's why I watched Party Bus. There was one called like Party Train or something like that, and Party Train 2.
So Party Bus sucked, but you watched Party Train 1 and 2 anyway?
Those ones were I watched Party Train 1 and 2, and then Party Bus showed up.
Oh.
But Party Train was actually half decent as a horror movie. It's just a generic slasher. Definitely tries to be in the vein of Friday the 13th, the first movie, not the sequels.
Well, since my daughter's, with my wife and son being out that day, and my daughter and her girlfriend being over at her girlfriend's mom's house, if they had been here, we'd have probably done a Tales from the Crypt marathon. Because I have all the Tales from the Crypt, and it would have been fun to do that with them because they actually do enjoy the show.
I just watched Spawn of the
favorite
Dead.
one. My favorite Tales from the Crypt will always be Abracadaver.
Remind me of that one because I don't remember it.
Tony Goldwyn plays a college medical student who plays a prank on his older brother, who's a full MD surgeon, played by Bo Bridges, where they go to the morgue to examine some bodies, and all of the bodies are actually Tony Goldwyn's college friends pretending, and then they all sit up, and he freaks out and has a heart attack. Skip ahead 5 or 6 years. The heart attack left Bo Bridges with an inability to perform surgery because of nerve damage that was, in one of his hands, and so he's doing research on zombification in Haiti, and he comes up with a drug made from some of the chemical agents they're using that he calls suspensor. Basically, what it does is it's a form of anesthesia where you remain conscious, and but you can't move, and your body doesn't feel anything. And so he injects them into his brother, and they make it look like they're killing him, and he's going to go to the morgue, and they're going to cut into his skull and stuff. And then at the very end, it wears off, and here, it was all a prank. But then his younger brother, dies, and he injects him with the suspensor to try to save his life. And then it ends with him actually being at his autopsy, and it's revealed that the one thing that he was incorrect about was that the sense of touch isn't the first thing to go; it's the last. And so he can feel them cutting into his skull with the saw.
Oh,
you remember that one?
Yeah. Now that you started describing it, I remember.
Don't play elaborate pranks on your siblings.
Right.
Yeah,
I think my favorite Tales from the Crypt episode was the one where it's a woman trying to win a beauty pageant type thing, and it turns out it's Miss Autopsy.
Oh.
The Danny DeVito one, where he kind of does the twins thing, plays off the twins thing, and they end up finding out because of that suntan burn. He got burned, and then turns out he got that little, and then they just they cut him in half. They're like, "Oh, we'll share you." They cut Danny DeVito in half. I always like I always liked that in that one episode. Arnold Schwarzenegger is introducing me. He's like, "Come on, you want to be 90 pounds all your death?"
On Tales from the Crypt, he was on.
Yeah, he directed he did an episode. It was the episode where, it was the episode. Yeah, Arnold did an episode. In fact, no, man, that thing was like family television. It seemed like everybody, and it seemed like everybody at the time. I saw an episode recently with Demi Moore in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it Tales from the Crypt, especially when it aired on HBO Family Entertainment. That was definitely.
I don't know, man. We were all in my home. It was. Well, let's be honest.
For my home, it was also Family Entertainment because my dad and I watched that kind of stuff. But it didn't help that they also had a Saturday morning cartoon called Tales from the Crypt Keeper that was strictly aimed at kids.
Right. Yeah, I don't think the reason why it's on HBO is so that you could get R-rated effects and things and horror on the program. So if they had a sanitized version for syndication on regular network television, that's another thing. But as it aired on HBO, it was definitely not intended as a family show. It only aired at night. It was,
I didn't say it was intended as a family show. I just said for a lot of people, it was a family show. Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
But when I'm watching these episodes, I mean, if you really think about it, in a lot of ways, they're rather mild by even modern standards now. I mean, they're not as gory as, you would think. I mean, it's more the tension and the buildup and everything. You don't, they didn't have to go on a gore fest or anything. It's more the buildup and stuff. And it's just was so much fun. And, kids, for some reason, we love the Crypt Keeper. It was just his thing. There was something about the Crypt Keeper that we just loved.
Yeah. And what's interesting is when you compare the HBO's Tales from the Crypt Keeper to the one that actually appeared in the comics, they really souped up his, undead nature. He was basically just an old dude in the comic, but on HBO it was this fully animatronic, puppet that really had a great sense of humor, I thought.
Definitely, I think he scored a lot of points by emulating the later Freddy movies because of how many puns he would use.
Yes, I noticed that too, because he'd always use those puns and stuff. And my daughter and her girlfriend, they find them funny as hell. And they've enjoyed every episode they've watched. So, that's great. But they're into horror. I mean, they're into more horror than I am. And so, yeah, we'd have had a horror marathon, but yeah, they are big into horror. She will watch horror shit that I won't watch.
All right, folks, I gotta head out. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today. So,
are you able to join us tonight?
Yeah. I said I could do that. That's one of the things I have to factor in. I got to get all my other stuff done. So,
okay.
Cool. What's going on tonight?
There's a bracketing stream.
Anzo.
I don't even know if I've seen all of Tom Cruise's more recent movies. Like,
I haven't.
But I've seen most of them. I probably, or enough to guess. Otherwise, I will just ask somebody in the chat for their opinion on which one's better. So, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, Anzo, Bigger for Entertainment.
That sidekick one was a bit.
It was an AI list and generated. I had to double check, make sure. Okay,
you know what? Yoda's not a sidekick. I'm sorry.
Wait, who is not a sidekick?
Yoda.
Oh,
he was not a main character. There's no story focused around him.
He's not a main character. Is a sidekick. Like a sidekick is somebody who's like secondary, but like.
Yeah, he was secondary to Star Wars. Luke had to go to him. He was secondary.
He's not like sidekick.
Yeah, he's not a sidekick. He's the old mentor figure.
Yeah, right. Usually a lesser person, right?
There's a difference between a sidekick and a secondary character.
Yes. Like
if anything, I would say
with the same goal in mind, right? That's your sidekick.
If anything, I would say that Luke Skywalker is Han Solo's sidekick in the first movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
agree. I would agree on.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that. Dandelion, you mentioned Tom Cruise. Did you ever see the movie Legend?
Oh God, yeah. Tim Curry's the only reason to watch that movie.
What the world turned to ice.
It's the worst fucking movie ever. I mean, honestly, it's a wonder Tom Cruise ever got any roles after he got sucked into that shithole.
Hey, I don't care.
Which one?
Hey, I don't care. I love the movie.
Oh yeah,
Which one?
absolutely.
Legend.
I would watch the shit out of that movie, but it's terrible.
That was it. That's back when he was on the cover of Tiger Beat.
I'm still confused by the very opening of that movie. I still don't get what happens. Like, there's weird, I mean, it's so freaking trippy. That first opening scene where the unicorns and shit. There's just shit going on, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, but Tim Curry. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
How did he hold up? What were those horns made out of? I want to know because
there's actually lots of commentary about that. You can look that up.
Yeah, because
they weren't very stable. They were wobbly as fuck. Apparently.
No, there's a shot where he's running and they're wobbling, and they kind of tried to fix that.
Yeah, no,
absolutely, but they couldn't.
Yeah. No, only Tim Curry could have pulled that off. There's nobody else who could.
I like that they made him look huge when Tim Curry is actually not a very large man.
He always looked like he'd be tall, right? He always looks dude's got to be over 6 feet tall, but
Sean Connery towers over him in The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I never think of Sean Connery as being that tall.
Yeah.
Camera tricks.
I will catch you all either later on Bigger Ford's stream, which are usually somewhat frustrating, those best of or worst ofs. but they're fun. They are definitely fun. All right,
Gifford's still around, huh? All right, see you later.
Absolutely. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later, Danny. There was a movie that I know a lot of people liked, and I tried to watch, and I just couldn't get into it, even now. That's the Excalibur movie.
Yeah.
80s movie?
Yeah, of course I'm talking about the 80s movie.
I'm like, okay, I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, it's kind of questionable when you find out that the director hired his daughter to play Igraine, and so he was directing his daughter in a sex scene with Gabriel Byrne at the beginning of the movie. That's kind of weird.
Talk about weird. I know none of you guys are into Power Rangers, but
that's absolutely correct.
The guy that played the Red Ranger in Power Rangers in Space, I don't know the actor's name, but he did an indie film where he cast his sister as his own love interest, his own character's love interest.
Okay.
It was like, really, dude?
Yeah.
They don't do anything, but it's still kind of like really gross when you think about it.
I felt the same way, when I saw the Godzilla movie from 2014, and then I saw the Avengers Age of Ultron, where the same, where those two actors and actresses were playing brother and sister in Avengers, but they were a married couple in Godzilla. I'm like, oh, don't see them in the wrong order. It's not the same thing, but yeah. All right, well, I got to take off. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Darren.
Later, Darren.
Turn your volume back up there, Elihu.
No, don't, please.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, well, at least his election is going to be over in a few days.
Well, I'm already prepared for it to last a while because of certain things that have happened.
Yeah, like I said, is it?
Well, the fact that a lot of places, for reasons that are beyond me, are now anyone can contest the election and force a hand recount in certain states, which is going to drag things out because
you can only challenge it if it's a close match. It's got to be within a certain percentile.
No.
Georgia has put in a law that any citizen who suspects impropriety in the count can challenge and force a recount now for each county.
Yeah, they may be able to, but that's not necessarily guaranteeing it's going to happen.
The Georgia State Court is Republican biased. Sorry, not based. It's Republican biased. So there's a 90% chance that all scholars are saying they will lean for the recount if somebody challenges it.
So I guarantee you that this whole election is going to. There's going to be lawsuits filed. It's going to be dragged on for at least a few days. A certain somebody is definitely not going to say they lost. He's already been saying that it's rigged. So this is going to be a shit show for the next week.
I don't think so.
Oh, you think he'll actually admit that he lost?
You think he's gonna lose?
If he does,
okay.
Do you think he'll admit it?
I'm not going into that. I'm not going. He already conceded once.
No, he didn't. He did not. He never conceded.
We're going to go through this. Yes, he did. Is he in the White House right now?
Post a link and tell me that where he said he conceded the election.
The election was rigged and that he won.
Yeah, if you can post a link from me, I will vote for Trump.
Okay, and how long and how many years did Clinton say he was an illegitimate president? And say that the election was stolen from her?
She didn't. She just admitted that she had the popular vote. He won the Electoral College vote.
Yeah, she conceded.
No,
yeah,
she didn't.
She literally conceded that
she called him an illegitimate president. That's not conceding.
It doesn't matter. She still gave. She actually called him.
Oh my
conceded the
God
presidency.
in heaven, guys! Trump
And
left the White House when he
under
was told
protest.
to.
He still said he won the election.
So he went under protest. Big fucking deal.
That's not conceding. That's like saying that you won the gold medal.
No, you're conceding that you have to leave. What the fuck?
Hang on, NB. Every single person who's ran for president lost is given a concession speech except for Donald Trump.
How do you know that?
Because you can look it up right now. Every single person is given a concession speech. Hillary gave a concession speech. Obama gave, not Obama, Quayle gave a concession speech. Whoever ran. Look it up. Every single person gave a concession speech saying they lost the election. Trump has never done that. He has never officially said, I lost the election and I concede.
Did the woman
Every other person has said that.
Did the one lady from Georgia ever do that?
All right, we're not. Stop doing whataboutisms. He's still never has. He's never going to.
No, I'm just saying if we're gonna play this, Mike, we got to play it both ways.
I'm not going to play it both ways in this regard because I'm sticking to the what my statement of one of the people who's running right now is never going to admit they lost regardless of the outcome.
And Clinton never admitted she lost.
Yes, she did.
No.
I will post the link right here. Hang on. I'm going to post it into the public chat. Here is the link for Hillary's little concession thing. Come on, Alt-V.
Let me ask you something. If she conceded, why did she call him during his 4 years an illegitimate president?
Because he didn't win the popular vote.
What the fuck does that matter?
It matters in the fact that she literally got more votes than him.
So what?
Yeah, I understand. It's a so what.
It is a so what. Why is she focused on something that doesn't matter? Doesn't matter she got more votes than him. That's the reason we have the Electoral College.
And I think we should get rid of it.
Well, it's never going to happen. States will give up too much power. You think the states are going to want to give up the power?
That's the thing. It's not most states are going to be giving up power. It's going to be a handful of states that are forced to give up power. Because think about this. Let me ask you something. Hold on, Emby. Hold on. Let me explain something to you. In California, we're the most populous state, but every single one of our electoral votes goes to one person.
Yeah.
That means, for example, because the last few years we've primarily gone blue, that means every person who votes Republican in the state of California, their vote automatically doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
And not only that, not only that, it means that their vote, that means over 65 million Republicans or however many registered Republicans are in the state of California, their vote never gets to be counted because of that.
The Electoral College is supposed to take the popular vote and put their vote toward it. Supposed to. They're not legally obligated to. They can vote however they want who's ever in the Electoral College. That's the problem with the Electoral College.
They have to go by with their state constitution.
They don't have to go by. They can do whatever they want. There's no legality against them doing against that.
Yes, there is in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the Electoral College going against the will of the people, you are really in for some deep shit. And I'm talking either way. I'm talking red or blue.
And yes,
it should always be the popular vote, not a concession of votes. Like, I'm against ranked choice voting because if you vote 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth candidate doesn't get the popular vote, well, that vote gets counted and distributed toward other candidates, which means your vote goes for another candidate you didn't vote for. Right, I'm against ranked choice voting. I'm against the Electoral College. Popular vote should win.
Elihu, put the coffee down. Hold on a second, Mike. Elihu, put the coffee down and smoke a bowl.
I am.
Well, you need to smoke another one because you need to calm down a little bit. I know.
On a national level, I believe.
I understand that tensions are high right now because, well, the election's close, and well, unfortunately, our election's the fucking world's watching. So, thanks, America. We got all the pressure on us.
Well, it's not just that. It's also because there's certain groups that are wondering if we're going to support Ukraine, if we're going to support Israel, if we're going to support Taiwan, and a lot of those things might depend on who's elected.
Yeah, I know. I'm very well aware of that. I mean, you're about as informed as I am. Elihu is too. We just all have kind of different perspectives on how we should go about it. But people say this is going to be a close race. I'm not seeing it, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. The last time, I'm going to say this. This is the one thing. The last time a Republican won a popular vote was Bush won, and we can all admit he was riding off the coattails of Reagan.
Nah, I don't think he got the popular vote that time, did he?
Yes, he did. I believe he did. That was the information I looked up. But he did get the popular vote, but he was running off the coattails, and he was the last one to get it.
No, Gore got the popular vote by a little over 500,000 votes.
No, that's the second election.
No, that is 2000.
Oh, what's that 2000?
Yeah.
Hanging Chad, remember?
What's that?
The Hanging Chad incident, remember? That's why they went all digital and electronic after the Hanging Chad.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah.
Well, anyway, okay, so the last time a Republican won the popular vote was, I guess, since Reagan. But okay, fine. But the popular vote,
I'm gonna say Bush Sr. because I think he was 88, right?
I thought Bush Jr. won the popular vote because of the war.
No. Bush Jr.? No, he. Are you?
W. I thought he won because of popular vote because of the war and got the electoral college because we were in a quote unquote war.
No, Bush did. No, Bush II did not win the popular vote.
Yeah, Bush Sr. got the popular vote in 92. That was the last time a Republican got the popular vote.
All right, thank you. So I was right. It was Bush 1.
So
I was right. The last time was Bush 1.
That means in over 30 years, Republicans haven't won the popular vote.
Yeah.
The only reason they won is because of the Electoral College.
Yeah, and that was the point of it.
No, the point of it was because they didn't think that people would be voting as often because, back when they wrote the Constitution, everything was done in-person voting, and you had to travel to a central location, and not everybody had the ability to do that.
Did you understand my point, NB? What Mike just clarified there for a moment? Republicans won popular vote, but did not win the Electoral College, which means Electoral College did not go for the popular vote. Electoral College sucks. I'm not a Republican, but it was unfair elections because the popular vote did not get the presidential candidate they wanted. A certain group did. That's why Electoral College sucks.
I disagree. The Electoral College works because
if it worked, then the Republicans would have been president, not the Democrats, because they won the popular vote, not the Electoral College. This is why it sucks.
No. If we went by the popular vote, then it would not be by the states. It would be by like 12 cities.
Well, hold on. MB, let me put it this way. Are the people
let me put it this way, Mike.
Hold on. Are the people living in cities still Americans?
Of course they are.
Okay, so you're saying that some American votes are worth less than others?
No. I'm saying
all votes go to a popular vote.
No, we have the Electoral College set up for a reason.
Yes, that reason is outdated because it was written over 250 years ago.
I love how you guys always talk about what's outdated.
It is outdated.
No, it's not.
And I can explain to you exactly why it's outdated. What other office for our government is dictated by the Electoral College?
None, and that's the reason.
Exactly. Why is the popular vote good enough for every other fucking position in our government except president?
Well, actually, we had to create a constitutional amendment to change how the senators were put in. Remember?
That was also, yes, but
That's still by popular
no,
vote.
not yes, but
It's
yes.
still by popular vote.
Exactly, though. We had to
Yeah,
make a change.
and it wasn't
because
no,
we had to make a
Elihu.
change.
Before the constitutional amendment to make senators be somebody we elected, they used to be appointed by the governor.
Exactly.
And when
And
elections
if you
started, it
want
was
my
the
fucking
popular
opinion,
vote.
and if
When
you want
elections
my
started,
opinion,
it was popular vote, not a group of body who elects a person anymore. It's popular vote. Governor
and I
popular
would
vote,
rather go
mayor
back,
popular vote, Senate popular vote.
yeah, and I'd rather get rid of that constitutional amendment and let it go back to the governor assigning who they want.
So you want the governor to appoint every single mayor, city council person, and everything like that without the representation of the people? That's exactly what you just said, MD.
No,
you want the power of the governor. That's exactly what you just said.
That is not what I said. That is not what I said. What I said was it used to be the governors would appoint them. I would like to actually repeal that amendment and go back to that. So, because if you voted for a governor, whether they're red or blue, that means they'll send senators up there to represent whatever party you put in. Maybe they'll split it. I don't know. But it used to be that way. And I think the way we got it now is terrible because we got senators who've been in there for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, and governors who appointed the senators helped pocket their personal payrolls by passing some certain legislation and laws. Okay, that's why it's the people. That's why the people should vote for all elected positions, even sheriff, city council, mayor, governor, president. Like Mike said, why is the highest office in the land not appointed by the people, but by a group of people?
Well, actually, like I said, before the time, by a group of people. What are you talking about?
The Electoral College. It's not. It's a group of people. It's like the Vatican. Okay. The Catholic people don't elect. Hang on. Let me finish. Let me. Mike, I'm not bringing religion. I'm bringing an example. I'm not bringing religion. I am bringing an example of an electoral process. I'm bringing an example of an electoral process. Okay. This has nothing to do with religion. It's an electoral process. Let me explain. The Vatican elects a pope. A group of people elect the leader.
All right, Elihu, sorry, I muted you because you're talking really loud and over people. Lower your voice.
Okay.
Lower your voice and calmly explain because, you know.
I was trying to. Okay, I will calm down. Okay, this is not about religion. It's about electoral process. Okay, the electoral process of the Catholic Church has a group of people electing a representative of over 1 billion people. Those billion people don't have a say who represents them. A group of people do. The Electoral College is the exact same way. They have a group of people that elect the president but the people. Yeah.
The big issue with that is, like MB said, it is a religious issue. The people who are part of the Catholic Church, your average attendee, is not part of the actual Catholic organization. They are just attendees. That's like saying that a concert hosted that's being done by Taylor Swift, where the concert attendees don't have a vote in what songs are sang. It's because it's not, they are just paying to attend. They're not members of the actual organization.
Exactly.
That analogy makes no sense.
No, his analogy makes perfect sense. I am Catholic. That doesn't mean that's my religion. Doesn't mean I'm going to vote for the Pope. This is a religion. We are talking about government.
Yeah, but you're like when you're an attendee to the church, you're not a member of, like, you're not actually part of the
I'm not
church.
on the council. I'm not on any council. I'm just a Catholic.
Well, you're not a council of the American people, so why does your vote count? You're not a senator or anything. That's a council member of the American people, of the American government. So why does your vote count?
You're taking it to an extreme that doesn't exist. And I'm still saying MB's wrong, but I'm saying you're wrong too.
Well, look, we can disagree on the Electoral College all we want. I mean, I understand that. We have some of our ideological differences, yeah, but like I said, using a religious analogy on how we do it is different. I'm just like you said, Mike. I couldn't have said it better than you did. I'm going to be honest. I am an attendee. I am a member of the faith, but I am not part of any council or anything like that. I'm not a pope. I would never be the pope. I'm not a cardinal. I'm not a bishop. I'm not a priest. I'm not a deacon. I'm none of that shit.
You're just someone who pays to go see the songs, just like a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. That's a good analogy. But
yeah, we pay our government taxes. The same thing, right?
No.
We pay for roads, so
no. Our taxes go to provide for the social security of the entirety of the country, not just one individual based on principle. In action, it tends to benefit certain individuals more than others. But
we get to vote on to dictate how that money is spent.
No, we don't.
No, but we vote on the people who
are measurements and bonds. We get to vote on them during election time. Measurement bonds A, C, 3, 4. Yeah.
Not everything ends up being a bond.
Well, I know that.
Okay, and just because individual might like, I remember I hated the asshole, but my old stepfather, he voted against one of the traffic things that was up by bond, but then he went ahead and bought a couple of the bonds because they were a guaranteed payout.
Oh, Mike, I'm going to bring this up because this is one thing that's been pissing me off with the D Party. Trying to say they've been the champion of gay rights for so long is total, absolute bullshit. People seem to forget gay marriage only was legalized back 9 years ago. It's only been 9 years since all the efforts we put into it to get these people the rights they deserved.
Okay, hold on. What party primarily championed the decriminalization of sodomy?
Okay, hold on a second. Before we go into that, let's just
you said only 9 years ago. I want to go back 70 years. What was the party who was originally trying to decriminalize sodomy laws?
I don't know. I don't know that far back. I was
Democratic Party 1963.
Huh?
Democratic Party 1963.
Okay. I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that. But
I'm telling you right now. So we're talking about 70 years ago. What was the first time a Republican anyone?
Whoa, can I finish before? Can I finish?
Tried to support someone from the LGBT community. Thank you.
Community.
Sorry, the Q screwed me up.
All right. What I'm saying is the parties didn't start doing this process, neither one, until it started in the 90s. That's why I sent you guys that. Huh?
As I said, 1960s is when it started because several.
Okay, hold on a second.
Democrats in the South were trying to decriminalize the sodomy laws, specifically Alabama, Georgia, Texas, because the sodomy laws.
I'm not talking about the sodomy laws. You went into.
But you understand. You understand that back in the 1950s and 60s, early 60s.
Well, that's not
gay people. A lot of gay men were being thrown in jail, and
I know
for life. So the first step in order to make sure that those people had any sort of life and semblance of rights was to decriminalize the one act that differentiated them from the heterosexual people. Correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, I never understood sodomy.
So the first step was done by Democrats 70 years ago.
Okay.
After the Stonewall.
Yes, thank you,
guys. Hold on a second. So, was that a local or was that
Stonewall riots was national? It was started in New York, then they had the Compton riots here in California.
The laws I'm specifically talking about, Elihu, were local to the southern states.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the federal level. I'm not talking about in the local state level. Because yes, I know. I read about that. That's one thing they brought in there in that thing was getting rid of the sodomy laws, which is so stupid. And you know, but I remember
just to remind you, I know you don't like him as either, but Mitch McConnell wants to put sodomy laws back on the books in his state to make it criminalized. So
yeah, well, he can go fuck himself.
And remember, he's still a Republican. So
and how many times have I told you how much I despise Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham?
As I said, I understand that, but I'm just reminding you.
Yes, I know they're Republicans. They're old motherfucker. Yes, this is my key thing I was saying about the Senate. These are old motherfuckers who, because of the popular vote, y'all just keep voting them in. They're in for 30 fucking years. Dianne Feinstein died in office, for God's sakes, because you guys voted her in.
And I would definitely get rid of or I'd add term limits to senatorial and House of Representatives
and Supreme Court justices.
If you're talking about the first major act on a federal level that protected people from the LGBT community, was the Civil Rights Act of 1964, because they included parts that were later on codified by the Supreme Court, saying that you cannot discriminate based on sex, gender, or orientation.
Race. Yeah, I remember that one, the civil rights case.
So,
yeah,
if you're still talking, and remind me, what party primarily promoted the Civil Rights Act of 1964?
Okay, can we stop talking about parties? This is a long.
Hold on. Your issue
you
was
said
no. My issue. Hold on a second.
That the Democrats were saying no, they're the ones for a long time, and Mike has backed up the statements.
I am telling you right now. Okay. You guys are going all the way back in time. I'm trying to be in a specific time zone. I had a point to make, and you guys wanted to jump off and go on somewhere else. I want you all to remember this. Who signed the Defense of Marriage Act defining marriage as a man and a woman? Who signed it?
I'm not exactly sure, so I'm looking it up.
Clinton.
Yeah, you look it up. I'm loading a bowl.
I'm gonna grab my last beer in a second.
Last? What the hell's wrong with you?
All right, so let's see. Introduced by Bob Barr, a Republican representative from Georgia, passed the Senate, passed the House, and signed under Bill Clinton. So yes, he's the one who signed it into law. Who's the one who actually wrote it?
Doesn't matter. He could have.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. He could have vetoed it.
Let's see. Did he veto it at least once?
No, he didn't. Because Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and
according to Clinton, he originally signed it to prevent an unpopular, to basically prevent a proposed amendment to the Constitution banning same-sex marriage. So
yeah, I know about that. That would never have passed. But the thing is, it would never have passed.
Well, I'm just saying that's according to him. That's his reason for signing it. Is he?
Yeah, I know all about. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know about that.
Codifying it in the Constitution.
Yeah, but it would never have passed. I know damn well it would never have passed because I know how the amendment process works. So he signed that in. And
proposed by a Republican. Written by a Republican,
signed by a Democrat, and signed into law by a Democrat. So it was bipartisan.
No, bipartisan by definition means it was voted by both parties and written by both parties.
No, it doesn't.
Just signed by one.
Bipartisan means it was agreed upon by both parties.
Now, remember, this law was struck down by Obergefell.
Yeah, I know. It was
And-
declared unconstitutional, and that's what paved the way for same-sex marriage to finally be legalized, because the Supreme Court under Obama said
Right.
Defense of Marriage Act was unconstitutional, which
G-
I feel
G-
it was.
NP, here's a little
Right,
fact for you. The very first person to form a legally same-sex marriage in this country was Kamala Harris.
What?
Yes, she performed the very first legal same-sex marriage in San Francisco in 2004.
What is she in? Yeah, okay, whatever.
To become a justice of the peace in the state of California is like $25 fee, and you have to fill out some paperwork. Trust me, I've done it several times.
Okay.
Yeah, easy to be certified to get legally marry someone in California.
It was a lot harder for the state of Nevada, because in the state of Nevada, you were required to be part of a member of a clergy, which is why I joined the United Church of Bacon.
California is easy.
Mrs. Cardenas has some questions.
I'm still certified in California to marry somebody.
No, yeah, I know. But let me bring it to you this part, MB. What members of the current, or what party is currently trying to overturn Obergefell?
None, as far as I know.
All right, let me see if I can bring up the thing.
All right, remind me again. What was Burgerville? Sorry, that one's
Obergefell. It was the case that
Burgerville.
The act you're talking about, the Defense of Marriage Act, was
like Donut
ruled unconstitutional for by the Obergefell case.
Oh, okay.
All right. As of right now, based on the remember the concurrence written by Clarence Thomas for the Roe versus Wade overturn, he put in there the steps that he wants someone to bring forward to him in order to overturn Obergefell as well.
Okay, I don't know.
Because he said, he specifically put in his concurrence that Obergefell and other things that he didn't like that are considered settled law, which now is not considered settled law because of the overturning of Roe and Wade, that Obergefell is one of the ones that he thinks that we could definitely get rid of, and he puts in his concurrence how to get rid of it.
Well, the Supreme Court, despite what people might not realize, has overturned over 300 rulings from a prior Supreme Court.
Yes.
So this is not unprecedented.
No, you are understood on the concept of settled law, correct?
Roe v. Wade wasn't settled law. It was an interpretation of the 14th Amendment.
Yes, but it was considered settled law by many people. That basically any case that has been upheld for over 50 years, they usually consider settled law. It is extremely rare for any decision by the Supreme Court to be overruled over 50 years after its introduction.
Yeah, but the first case that the Supreme Court overturned was the Missouri Compromise of 1820.
No, it was Dred Scott.
No, that was not the first. It was the Missouri Compromise. The Dred Scott decision was later.
What, 18, 19 years later?
Yeah, the first thing that the Supreme Court ever overturned in law was the Missouri Compromise of 1820. They said it was unconstitutional.
No, the Missouri Compromise of 1820 was replaced in 1854 by the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which repealed the Missouri Compromise. That's much less than 50 years.
No, it did not. They declared the Missouri Compromise unconstitutional.
Okay, but again,
yes, the Kansas, because they declared it unconstitutional, that's where the Kansas-Nebraska Act came in.
How many years are there between 1820 and 1854?
I don't No, 34 years. Sorry, man. My brain's a little.
Okay. I said that anything considered over 50 years, it's considered settled law with regards to the Supreme Court.
No.
Your example is already 14 or 16 years too short for that to be considered settled law.
And Mike, by your argument, Roe v. Wade was 1 year shy.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Kansas Nebraska Act repealed the act in '54. So yeah.
All right. So 19. If you're going by the start of the court date, is 1971.
No, I'm going by when it was done.
Okay, so 1973.
They said
I'm
it's
just
been,
done. I'm
they
just
said
done
it
with
was
this shit.
settled law for. They said it was settled law for 49 years until it was repealed. So I
That's
guess
probably why they tried to do it at that point. But
what do you
remember,
mean? Why? What do you mean?
Probably
you
one of
don't
the
know?
reasons they tried to get it done at that point. But remember, when interviewed for their positions in the Supreme Court, both Kavanaugh and Barrett said that they considered Roe v. Wade settled law.
Yeah, it's settled
And
law.
they both
then
they both overturned
shouldn't-
it.
Well,
So
then
they
they
lied.
shouldn't have brought. Well, then they shouldn't have brought. Well, the Dobbs decision came up there, and that's what caused Roe v. Wade and Casey versus Planned Parenthood to get overturned. And honestly, I don't know what you're all complaining about.
Well, you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Because several women have died in states that say it's up to them, and they nope, you can't do this. And several women have died. Recently, a woman had died by trying to get an emergency visit help, and because she was pregnant, and they refused, and she died.
Yeah, that's the fault of the medical practitioner.
That's the fault of the state
That's the fault
saying
of the
that.
state.
But the state
However, the
saying they have to do
medical-
this, not the
Remember,
medical professional. It's the
practitioners
state
don't
laws they
want
have to
go
obey.
jail.
Yeah, they have to obey state laws.
What about the lady who went all the way up to another state, got an abortion pill, and she died because of the abortion pill?
Citation, please, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll have to find it. But yeah, they've been playing that is because of Trump's ban, this woman went to another state and died because of her abortion. No, she took an abortion pill and she ended up dying from it. I've seen what these pills can do to women. It's not pretty. Okay, I had one of my airmen who got pregnant, did the I don't know what you call it, the Plan B or whatever, something, and she was having a lot of complications. I had to call my wife to take her to the ER because I was like, I can't take her. So cut the bullshit. It's very simple.
Hold on.
I cannot find anything about a woman who died from taking an abortion pill. I cannot find anything like that.
I'll see if I can find it. Look, I'm not.
Hold on. I didn't see anything about that either, MB. But I'm looking up statistics on the abortion pill for the last 60 years since. But this is including in Europe, not just the United States. They've always said that the abortion pill can include the risk of death. But
yeah, so does all my medications.
Exactly. Plus, also that the risk of death from the abortion pill is more than 200 times less likely than actually going through with a pregnancy. And two, in the entirety of the last 60 years for both the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the European Union, including the United Kingdom, 12 deaths have been caused by the abortion pill. In 60 years.
I didn't even know it had been around that long. All I'm saying is what I've got currently.
Well, they're talking about by abortion pill. They're including RU486 as well as the morning after pill, which is technically not an abortion pill unless you go by strict definition, certain definitions.
Yeah, well, I don't know that.
So,
all right, I'm not a woman.
now, so yeah, we've had 12 in the last 60 years. In what 40
How
some
did
odd
we go from
countries,
talking about gay marriage to abortion?
because we brought up Roe v. Wade.
So because we brought up Roe v. Wade. That's right.
So
Oh,
yes,
okay. I'm sorry. Hang on. I found something I want to. I want to say something after you do, and Mike. Okay.
Why you let me finish?
Yeah, I want to say something after you do.
So, as risky as it is to take the abortion pill in any form, Plan B, RU486, etc. So one person died recently from it, so that means it's automatically bad.
No, I just said no. Here's how it's being framed. Because of Trump's abortion ban, that's why she died. They're not specifying in the media that she took a pill and that's what killed her.
Can I say something right now? I want to read something for you, okay? Quote, she'd taken abortion. This is about Amber Thurman. She'd taken abortion pills and encountered a rare complication. She had not expelled all the fetal tissue from her body. Showed up at the Piedmont Henry Hospital in need of a routine procedure to clear it from her uterus, called dilation and curettage, or DNC. But of course, but the summer her state had made performing the procedure a felony. This is why she was refused medical care, because it was considered a felony by the state. This is the story of it. She did not expel all the fetal tissue. The state did not allow the doctors to perform that partial abortion.
Sorry, I want to interrupt you. I was just reading the statistics. If you include both Plan B and RU486 under the same thing as an abortion pill, and the amount of complications arisen from it, it is still more than 100 times safer than taking Viagra, because more people have died after taking a Viagra than one of the abortion pills.
Boy, you just had to get that. I wonder if he was stiff all the way.
Yeah. So basically, NB the campaign is spinning a story without actually looking at facts.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
spinning stories again. Yeah, that's why I clarified it for you. What happened?
And no, I've looked it up. I already knew that, Elihu. I knew all this stuff already. I've already looked the story up.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? I come in, Elihu.
Hold on. No, it's me. I'm just getting blown away because penicillin, which has saved so many people's lives, is still considered more deadly than the abortion pill. So Tylenol is considered more dangerous than the abortion pill. I mean, my God, it's freaking hilarious that there's more people who end up dying after taking a freaking Tylenol than getting a medically induced abortion.
Well, Elihu, you know damn well, I know you're intelligent. I know Mike's intelligent. I'm intelligent. You know we all come prepared. We don't know everything. That's why we talk, because we get different. Some of us find things, the different information. Yeah, I did know that part. Look, man, it's a complicated issue, but it's a state issue now, and that's where it belongs. I mean, if you're intelligent,
I mean, an individual issue.
It should be an individual issue, not a government issue.
Well, it's not a federal issue, and that's what it's not supposed to be.
There's a saying, "Hey, women, you're not required to go to the draft. So when war happens, you don't have to say anything. Men, you don't get able to get pregnant. So when abortion happens, you don't have to say anything. It should be up to the individual's decision, not a government."
Oh, really? Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, because my son turns 18 next July. Guess what happens to him?
Select the service.
Uh-huh. So where's his body, his choice? Because honestly, I think Kamala Harris will put us in another war. And I don't want
Hold on. You think that she's going to put us in another war?
Yes.
Like a declared war?
Yeah, I do.
Who declares war in this country?
Congress and the president.
Congress declares war at the request of the president.
Yes, but it's Congress who actually gets to do it. So why are you worried about Kamala if it's Congress's job to do that?
She can say, I want to declare war. Congress goes, no.
No, she can ask for it, but if Congress...
Yeah, and Congress says no, then it's no war. So why are you worried about Kamala?
I'm playing, you know what? You know what? You guys can play best case scenario. I'm just remembering the last 8 years.
Oh, you mean like the unfettered missile attacks done by Trump, the drone attacks that actually increased after Obama, the amount of additional troops that we sent towards the Middle Eastern region prior to the withdrawal in Afghanistan, which his administration planned for, that was implemented after when Biden was actually elected. You mean that kind of stuff, right?
Do you want to run that by me again? You're getting a little too ridiculous.
I intentionally did a Gish Gallop. Okay, let's start with one thing.
All right, look. God. I'm going to go piss and I'm going to grab a beer because I'm like, you just went into a Kamala Harris word salad.
No, I did a Republican Gish Gallop. That's exactly why I did it too.
It's stupid.
It wasn't a Kamala word salad. It had nothing to do with Kamala.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, she had nothing to do with what he just said.
I'll tell you this from a personal experience. I served under Clinton. I served under Bush too. I served under Obama, and I served under Trump. Of the 4 commander-in-chiefs I served under, I thought Trump was the best.
All right, so you're talking about
I gotta go. Hey, I said I gotta go Geologia, and I gotta get a beer.
All right, then I will
continue to talk about you behind your back. Go.
I was gonna say get some more coffee. Mrs. Vile left, so I guess Elihu's in charge. I'm gonna go get a coffee.
Crap! Why am I in charge?
Because you're the only
LDG.
LDG decides to speak up.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. He's still on the stream and we're getting a word in. People are getting a word in. That is very weird. Wow, I guess I am in charge. Huh. Okay, crazy weird people. How the hell is everybody? Okay, well, since I am here, I'm Eli, the hot science guy. Don't forget, guys, the Leonard's meteor shower peaks around the 16th and the 17th, this coming out month. So if you have clear skies, look up and you may see some streaks. Where in the sky do you look up? Anywhere. North, south, east, west. Just look up. The Leonard's meteor shower. What else is going on? Oh, yeah. If you happen to see a little dot by the little sliver of the moon, that is Venus. So any stargazers able to look up, check it out. And we should be getting a nice KP reading from the Aurora alert soon. It was at 3.5 yesterday, so it might be a nice Aurora alert down in Canada.
Diablo con mi amigos.
Bueno.
Oh, is my speaker still, or my microphone still on? So you heard that?
See?
Oh, I was telling Mrs. Vile's niece that I was talking with my friends on the computer.
That's
a question for you. You know, Elihu, you made a.
Come on. You want to say hi?
So, Elihu.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you said the government should stay out of that. Hola. ¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo está?
But where was I going with that? What did I say, Elihu?
You said the government should stay out of.
Now, when you said the whole wars thing, so Donald Trump launched over 47 missiles at a.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about. No, I don't want to hear it. Mike.
Sorry, I want to correct
was
myself.
there.
I want to correct myself. 40.
Mike,
It wasn't 40.
I was
47, it
there
was
for the
59.
entire war. I don't want to
Okay,
hear
but
it.
I'm just saying right now. You're
No,
worried about.
I don't want to hear
Kamala
it.
Harris.
I don't want to hear it.
You
Just
want to
stop.
complain about Kamala Harris starting a war? I'm telling you right now. 2017, the Sharett
Trump
Shayrat
didn't
missile
start a
strike.
war, though.
Hold on. That's only because Syria did not end up declaring war on us after the fact. Now, he launched 59, not 47, I was wrong about, 59 Tomahawk missiles, killing, including 9 soldiers, 9 civilian, 4 children, 16 members of their governor of Homs thing, whatever that means, 1 SAM site, and 9 to 20 aircraft.
So what's your point?
So you're worried about Kamala Harris starting a war because you said, she's going to start a war or she might start a war. You're worried about that.
I'm worried she will start a war.
Okay. So
because I
if
think
she were to
she's
do
a
the
weak
same
leader.
thing, if she were to, hold on. At best, she could do the same thing as Trump did. Are you still worried about that?
At the best, she could do what Trump did? No.
This is one instance of something he did.
No.
What do you mean no?
I mean, no. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about.
Can I ask you, why do you say that you think or you believe or something like that Kamala would start a war when Biden hasn't started a war, when she said she would do the exact same thing Biden has done?
Really? So, well,
Biden has not started a war.
No, we're funding 2 proxy wars.
You said started. I didn't say fun. You said started. Biden never started a war. She said she would do the exact same thing Biden would do.
What did Bush?
I'm not talking about Bush. I'm not talking about Bush. I'm talking about Kamala and Biden.
And if you're talking about the proxy wars, the war in Ukraine started under
Obama.
What was it, Obama?
Yeah, it started under Obama.
So again, it's not something that Biden or Kamala started.
And yeah, we're talking about Biden or Kamala, not anybody else.
Going on since the 1940s. So again, it's not something that she started.
We're not talking about Reagan, Bush, Clinton. We're talking about Biden, Harris.
Yeah, and I think she is a weak leader, and the war hawks around her are going to swarm her.
People have been declaring her a weak leader ever since she made her declare for candidacy. Nobody said that about her when she was vice president.
Yes, I did.
I don't recall that. Please follow up the link.
And let me ask you this, NB. How do you feel about supporting our allies?
What about them? What do you mean?
Do you think that we should support our allies?
Which allies? Militarily? Which allies?
I'm using
allies, our friends.
Which allies?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Elihu.
Why?
I'm saying allies in a general format intentionally.
I know. I'm curious why he says it doesn't matter which allies. I'm just curious why NBC says why it doesn't matter. Ones. Yeah, I'm asking you why you say which ones.
You're asking which ones. I'm saying
because
support all our allies, correct?
Excuse me, Mike.
I say we should support all our allies, correct or incorrect? No. Oh, so we shouldn't support our allies.
No, I said we shouldn't necessarily always support all our allies.
Why? Which one should we not support? Which one should we not support?
But
yeah, which ally should we not support? That's what I want to know.
We should help them out, right?
Okay, if you guys are gonna do this, do it one at a time. I can't.
I know it's.
I can't.
Okay, so
I can't say. Okay, look, you guys want me to answer these questions? That's fine. One of you talk, one of you let me finish, and then the next person can answer.
Okay, Mike, ask your question. Let him finish, and I'll ask my question.
Like you're worried about Kamala somehow declaring war in both the proxy wars right now with Ukraine and Israel, correct?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Then which wars are you worried that she's going to declare on?
I am worried that we're going to end up back in the Middle East.
Why?
Okay.
So, or is that because of Israel?
Hold on a second. Let me finish. Okay, we were there 20 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
20 fucking years in 2 wars. Okay? I'm tired. And if
I
there's
get-
one thing I've learned over my time in the military is to realize that, you know, people like Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, they're war hawks. They never had a war they couldn't profit from.
Okay, I
Okay?
understand that, but I need.
Yeah, well, Democrats haven't met a war they couldn't profit
Hold
from.
on. I needed. You ended with the Warhawks. I need to get my point across real quick. Even Bush, because he wanted to invade Iraq, had to come up with weapons of mass destruction. Correct?
Oh, his intelligence. Okay, let me see.
It was basically made up. Is what I'm saying.
No, it wasn't made up. It did. You
The
define.
intelligence briefing said it was made up.
All right. What do you define as a weapon of mass destruction?
Chemical weapons. That's what they were mainly going for, and there was no evidence that Saddam Hussein actually had chemical weapons.
Yeah, it's called chemical, biological, and nuclear.
Yeah. Okay. So, but again, Bush.
Oh, and and radiation.
I would fall in radiation under nuclear, even if it's non-fissile.
No. It's actually been changed. It's chemical, nuclear. It's chemical, biological, nuclear, radiation. Because radiation can be something other than a nuclear.
Yeah, I know it can be non-fissile, but that's
yeah, exactly.
No,
I'm making the point. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, but my point is, Bush needed a reason to invade Iraq. Because even 9/11 wasn't good enough. 9/11 was good enough to go to Afghanistan, but not Iraq. What reason would Kamala Harris have to declare war on any country in the Middle East right now, other than the Israel-Palestine conflict? Because you said you weren't worried about that one.
No, I am worried about that one, but they're not a part of NATO. This is where you asked me that question. Should we support all our allies? Well, our NATO allies, well, we are on the NATO charter. So, yes, we would have to respond to that. Now, there are other charters like what we have with Ukraine and Israel, even though they're not part of NATO. But we don't have treaties with every ally we have. And we don't have that with every ally. And we fund proxy wars in different areas. We funded we fucking funded Al Qaeda back in the 80s, for God's sakes.
Yeah, against the Russians, I know.
Yeah, I know. And
I remember one. Sorry for interrupting, but I remember reading one article about a U.S. Marine who said that he found it very conflicted when a Stinger missile he had taught a group to use against the Russians was now being used against his own men.
Yeah, there's one of the things about I remember a story I heard from a Marine who was out at I saw this interview with a Marine who was out in Afghanistan. He was talking to one of the tribes leaders, and I think that's a key thing I think a lot of people don't understand about that region. Just because there may be a centralized government doesn't mean they run everything. Most of those people are still tribal.
Okay, but let's go back a little bit. I know I'm the one who went off on the tangent. So what war do you think she's going to declare?
I don't know what. Okay, here's the thing. If I had to pick a guess, it wouldn't be Iran. Too scared for that. I don't have a particular area. I really don't.
Well,
but
you said
I'm
Middle
worried.
East, and you
Hey,
say she's.
hey! I said it would be in the middle. I said it would probably be in the Middle East. I didn't say where because I don't know. But hey, let me be a little afraid. Okay, my son is going to be 18 next year. He's going to be in the selective draft. Look, my son is not military material. He's on a different path. And I don't want to get him drafted. And
Okay.
yeah, I know there hasn't been a draft, since the damn 60s. But yeah, hey, if the left wants a fearmonger about the right, hey, I'm going to fearmonger about the left because they seem to like war.
What about Syria?
Yeah, again,
What about Syria? Syria's not
Like,
our
originally-
ally. Turkey.
originally-
Okay, I can
No,
answer
originally I
that
brought up
question for you.
Syria.
No, hold on a second, Mike. I can answer that question for you. Why didn't we help our Syrian allies against Turkey? Because Turkey is a NATO.
I didn't talk about that. I was talking about the fact that we
No,
launched
no,
missiles
Eli who brought
into
that up.
Syria.
Yeah, because Syria is getting involved with the Israel conflict. That's why I had to ask, because you mentioned Israel. Because you said you weren't involved with Israel Palestine, but Syria is now getting involved, and Syria is an ally, but not a NATO ally.
No, I didn't say I
Syria's-
wasn't worried. Okay, you guys misheard me, or maybe I misspoke. I am worried about this war between Israel and Hamas far more than I'm worried about the Russo-Ukraine war, because you got Iran getting involved, you got Syria getting involved, and if that place lights on fire again, we always end up seeming to have to go in there and clean shit up.
Nah,
And
I wouldn't
I'm
say we always
sorry.
clean it up. It's more like we fuck around and leave a mess half the time. At least when it comes to the Middle East.
Okay, Mike. What do you know my position on the second Iraq war?
Hopefully you thought it was a bad idea.
No, I was
idea.
okay. I'm gonna give you the day when I found out about we were going back to Iraq. I had just finished. I was in tech school in the Air Force. I just joined the Air Force, and after I got out of the Marine Corps, and I'm at lunch with a couple of the guys from my training unit, and all of a sudden the news brings up, we're going back to Iraq, and I was like,
Pardon me.
I did. This is what I did. I shit you not. I went like this. Fucking God. And they were like, what? I'm like, we already got one war going on. We got to have a second war so we can give a gift to his daddy. And that's
All
what
right,
I said. Because that's what I said.
And don't get me
he
wrong.
wanted
I
to give
think-
his daddy Saddam.
I know. Don't get me wrong.
Which you
think
did,
that
the
the
people did.
Saddam Hussein regime was something that deserved to be toppled. But it should have been done much differently than how it was done after 9/11, because it's going to be forever tied to 9/11, which makes no freaking sense because, we invaded
It had nothing to do with
Iraq
it.
and Afghanistan for a terrorist event that was paid for by our allies, the Saudis.
Well, the only reason we got into the first Iraq war was because the Saddam invaded Qatar.
Kuwait.
And, huh?
Kuwait.
Wait. Oh,
Yeah, Qatar. No, he didn't come there. Qatar.
And we had
no,
we
it's
had-
Qatar.
what?
Qatar.
Kuwait.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. And it
You
was also
guys
because-
don't get it. That's what we.
I don't
that's
get
what
it.
we call Kuwait. That's what we used to call Kuwait back in the military. We called it Qatar.
Okay, well, it's Kuwait. But it was also because we had our oil interests in Kuwait, because the oil fields in Kuwait, despite it being a smaller city or a smaller country, actually produced more oil than all of Iraq. And two, because we had basically they were a member of the UN and asked for our help, and we were their ally. So we invaded. And
Yeah, I remember.
remember, the first Gulf War was basically a demonstration of American military might. The
Yeah, I
Republican Guard-
remember. I used to watch the news about it after The Simpsons.
Israel has officially invaded Syria.
Say that again?
Really?
Israel has officially invaded Syria. It's the first time in the current war that Israel has announced sending troops into the country after seizing Syrian citizens.
Now
This
do you
just
understand why
just
I'm
broke
worried?
news. This just broke.
And you wonder why I'm worried.
Well, as we've noticed, both the Trump administration and Obama only pretty much launched missiles or drone strikes into Syria. So,
hey,
just
FYI, when Trump launched those missiles, we hit those key targets.
Yeah, including 9 civilians and 4 children.
It's called
collateral damage. I realize that. Should collateral damage equal or be greater than the military cost?
Collateral damage happens. How many people died in the London bombings? How many civilians died then? How many civilians
was that
died
a military action?
How many civilians died at the Battle of Stalingrad? I'm sorry to say, but in war,
I understand. But I'm talking about modern military tactics.
What about it?
Should civilian casualties be greater than the military assets taken out?
No. Depending on, as long as it follows within the rules of engagement in the Geneva Convention. Well, no, the Geneva Convention is something a little bit different.
Geneva Convention's woefully out of date. It hasn't been updated in almost 100 years. It barely includes anything about chemical warfare, and I think the last minor update was to nuclear weapons. I mean, the Geneva Convention, as much as we like to tout it as this big thing, is woefully inadequate for modern military tactics.
Well, that's why we have rules of engagement.
That's something we put on ourselves to limit ourselves. It has no effect on other people.
No, rules of engagement affect your entire unit for the mission you're going on.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a limit that the United States, in case of our rules of engagement, a limit we put on ourselves and our military personnel.
Well, the Geneva Convention also only applies to the people who signed it.
Technically, yeah, but remember, we didn't sign it the first time. We signed it the second time.
Yep.
Ironically, the only reason we signed it was because of the additional stuff about nukes, because we were worried about Russia.
Russia.
So,
Marsha.
Now, remember, it also didn't stop the United States from pushing the rules created by the Geneva Convention on Germany after World War II during the what was the trials? The Nuremberg trials.
The Nuremberg trials.
Yeah. Now, granted, the United States was basically a token state at that point because they weren't part of the Geneva Convention at the time, but they still produced a lot of witnesses, a lot of testimony, and a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I saw a series about the Nuremberg trials some years ago.
Yeah, and what they admitted was the people who they participated in Operation Paperclip, whose criminal history was expunged in participation for working for the U.S. I'm like, hey, you forgot about these guys. But don't worry about it. We expunged their records.
Yes, but even I know a lot of people try to bring up stuff like that, but even Werner von Braun was only a member of the Nazi Party because they would basically kill his family if he didn't help.
Well, I didn't mention Werner. I mentioned I didn't mention Werner. I'm talking about other people other scientists.
You just mentioned Project Paperclip, but I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I know Werner was innocent. Werner was innocent. I know that. Yeah, I defend Werner von Braun.
So
wasn't he the only one found not guilty?
No, there was a couple dozen were found not guilty, but it was only because of U.S. interference.
Yeah, von Braun was a puppet Nazi. He was forced to do what he had to do. I'm like, this is. Yeah. I understand. I think I totally respect von Braun. It's like, yeah, okay, my family life. I will do what you say. Come to America. Hey, yeah, let's do this. Okay, hey, America, let's do what I didn't tell Germany. I'm like, thank you, Werner.
Well,
he did some shit. He delayed projects on purpose. And when the U.S. asked him, "What was this?" Here it is. Boom. Here it is. Boom. Here it is. Boom. That's how the U.S. got the rocket program off the deck so fast.
One of the things, though, is when a person is under duress, you got to give the guy credit, though, Elihu. for being under that kind of duress and being able to withhold that information.
I know. That's why I give that man total respect.
Yeah,
I mean, you're holding vital information that if they find out you're dead, your family's dead.
Yeah. That's why I give that man respect. When he came to America, I was like, oh, here you go. Take it, man. Help us out. Here you go. Get rid of them. Boom, boom, boom.
So basically, he just did just enough to keep them happy.
Yes.
Yeah, well, remember, he also designed the V1 and the V2 rockets. And there was a quote that and I'm going to butcher this quote, so forgive me. He said something along the lines of when the first V2 hit London, he said, yeah, the rocket performed admirably. It just landed on the wrong planet.
Yeah. And technically, Werner von Braun broke the space record. The very first launch of the V2 technically went 68 miles up in the air, which is technically outer space. So technically, Germany won the space race.
Technically.
Yeah, technically. So, yeah.
Oh, Elihu, since you brought that up, did I mention my thing about the alternative history of the Civil War?
No. I don't think you did.
Oh, okay. So, like with, For All Mankind, they changed one aspect of it, and I thought, oh, wow, this would be an interesting thing to do with America right before the Civil War, because we could start with, Lincoln getting elected, South Carolina seceding, but here's the key difference. Lincoln.
Hey guys, it's been fun, but I got to go real quick.
Okay.
I'll see you guys next week. All right, guys.
Later.
All right, be good. Later, everyone.
Things, LDG.
Later,
I mean, we couldn't get you to shut up.
Yeah. Keeps working out that way, huh? Anyway, hit me up later. Love you. Peace.
Later. Shake me on the ground. So, Elihu, what I was going to say is what started basically the Civil War is the battle at Fort Sumter. What if that battle didn't happen? What
Civil
if
War still would have happened?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That was the one thing that triggered the war right there, because Lincoln did not want to go to war. He wanted to negotiate. But the Confederates went to Fort Sumter. What if the battle never happened? Whether you could say Lincoln said, just give him Fort Sumter, return home, whatever, and say the Confederates get there to Fort Sumter. And by the way, I've been to Fort Sumter because I was in South Carolina at Shaw Air Force Base, which is in Sumter. So what if that battle never happened? If that fight had never happened, that would have been that'd be the one thing, and then you could figure out how you're going to do it. And there's so much rich history that expands. You could really do some interesting alternative history.
I got a better one for you. What if someone was trying to break into the barn, couldn't see, they held a second lantern, put a second lantern up there, and Paul Revere saw 2 lanterns instead of 1?
Okay, no, I want to go back to what MB was getting at. Okay, so why was and I'm going to use the term loosely because they weren't technically the Confederates at the time. Why were Confederate troops marching on Fort Sumter to begin with?
Because South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union, and Fort Sumter is in South Carolina.
Okay, so we have that. The act that you're talking about that starts the Civil War is not the attack on Fort Sumter, presumably. It is of South Carolina.
No, that is South Carolina.
The secession of South Carolina is what started the Civil War.
No, it isn't. The Battle of Fort Sumter is what started the Civil War.
That's what started the shooting war.
That's what started the Civil War.
The argument could be said that the mere declaring of leaving the United States and becoming seceding from the Union is an act of war against the Union.
No, Abraham Lincoln did not ask for that.
Yes.
He
I didn't say he did.
No, he wanted to bring the Union back together. He wanted to unite it. He didn't want a war.
But the
Battle of Fort Sumter is what caused the war.
No, it started the shooting part of the war.
It wasn't a war yet.
I'm not saying it was. What I'm saying is
because because Congress hadn't officially declared war yet. Remember,
it's like arguing that the Cold War wasn't a war yet because it never became a full war. But we call it this
it's a metaphor.
War. When I'm saying that the war, as in the idea of the two entities starting conflict, is the secession of South Carolina.
Yeah, okay. So let's put it this way. I'll take your analogy and I'll run with it.
If it hadn't happened
when South Carolina seceded, it was the start of the Cold War. Then the battle at Fort Sumter is when the war got hot.
Yeah.
I can work with that. But the war officially started, but yeah, if the Battle of Fort Sumter had not happened, you could really kind of expand on that in that era.
What if George Washington fell out of the boat and drowned?
I gotta look something up real quick.
Well, then we'd all be speaking. German.
Let's see.
I'd be speaking Spanish because Mexico still have territorial rights over this area. Remember, I was born in Arizona, so they would have territorial rights. I'd be speaking Spanish.
All right, so let's say, and you say that was Fort Sumter. My contention is something like Fort Sumter would have happened regardless.
Not
even
necessarily.
If it didn't happen right then and there, it would have happened because remember when they seceded, they immediately assumed that every asset within the territory of South Carolina now belonged to the Carolina government, correct? Including the military assets at Fort Sumter.
Yes.
Whereas the federal government said, no, those assets are still ours. Give us time to remove them and we'll be okay, right? That was essentially it. And then
no, it
South
wasn't.
Carolina still fired upon them.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
They didn't. They had no intention on leaving. Fort Sumter was a key port area.
Yes. Okay, but
yeah, all I'm saying is, okay, look.
The Carolina government was saying that Fort Sumter is now their property because they seceded, correct?
Correct. What I'm saying is, if that battle hadn't have happened, that could have changed the course of history. All I'm talking about is the same thing that happened in For All Mankind. One change changed the course of human history. So
what I'm saying, I don't think it would have been as large of a change as you think it would have been because something like that was going to happen regardless. You literally have two groups fighting over some sort of military asset. It's going to happen. And once South Carolina seceded, that the Civil War was going to happen regardless. The only difference
it wasn't.
Would have had the South would have had
more time. The Civil War started because listen to me. This is what I'm saying. The Battle of Fort Sumter is what started the Civil War. If it hadn't have happened, that's where you could go with the alternative history. I'm not interested in you thinking it was inevitable.
If it wasn't Fort Sumter, it would have been anywhere else.
How do you know?
Because once they seceded, they immediately started saying that the federal assets were now theirs.
So what?
That's what led to the Battle of Fort Sumter.
No, that's what I'm saying. What if Lincoln just told them, give it to him? Told the loyal troops, come up here.
Then that's not the change. Your change is not that Fort Sumter didn't happen. It was that the Lincoln decided to appease I want to say California, the South Carolina government, and give them federal assets.
I'm saying the Battle of Fort Sumter didn't happen. That's all I'm saying. Do we really have to get into the details of why it didn't happen?
Well, yes, because the why it doesn't happen is more important than it doesn't happen. Because as I said, a battle.
Okay, they got a message. Okay, they got a message from their commander. They said, "Abandon Fort Sumter. Take all assets." So by the time the South Carolina militia got there, it was abandoned and nothing was there. Boom.
See, that would have been probably a lot different, but I still say that something's going to happen where there's going to be some sort of battle that's going to happen.
That's the point of the alternative. I'm saying, what if the Battle of Fort Sumter didn't happen? Because that's what started the Civil War. You say something would have started the Civil War.
Something would have started the shooting war. The Civil War started when South Carolina seceded.
Oh, Lord. Okay. No, it started. Right. It started when Congress declared war.
Yes, but if you're talking about if we're talking about the first,
if I'm talking about the legality, since that's what we do, the war didn't start until Congress approved the war. So there you go. Which was after the Battle of Fort Sumter.
Yeah, I'm too stoned to look it up. You do that, Mike. Oh, did you hear what Elon Musk's mother said?
If you want to,
hold on. She
called
X
NB,
Twitter.
NB, I got to let you know. Congress never officially declared war on the southern states or the Confederation of or the Confederate States of America. So no, technically Congress did not approve of that war.
Well, that is new. That's news to me.
All right, so
I guess that's maybe why it was called a civil war. How do you declare war on your own people?
Hold on, I gotta let you know. This is crazy. The amount of how many times do you think Congress has actually declared war?
World War I, World War II,
Korea, Vietnam.
No,
Korean War.
No. War of 1812.
Well, you basically got most of them because they do it by country. So the first one, we declared war on Great Britain, June 17th, 1812. Mexico, May 12th, 1846. Spain, April 25th, 1898. Germany, Austria-Hungary in 19.
Hey, I gotta go, Mike. My family's back.
All right, hold on. And then everything else is the last 6 are all countries involved in World War II. So yeah, Congress has not declared war since World War II.
Yeah, I mean, no, the Mexican-American War was always the one I was like, we wanted California. We wanted it bad.
It was after Texas.
Yeah, this is, of course, after Texas. We were doing the Manifest Destiny at this point. We wanted C by C.
And remember, California also wanted its independence from Mexico. So remember that too.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, yes, but enough of them. Enough of the farmers and
yeah.
outlaws.
Yeah. I like how she says. She's
all right, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream so I can argue with Mrs. Weil now.
Okay. No Gungam.
All right, so No
Anything
Gundam. Let's do something just as stupid.
More singing, more voices. Hail the Klingons, hoorah!
What is that dreadful noise?
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining. All right, I'll catch you next week. Later, folks.
Later, weirdos. Don't forget to look up.